Hello and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. I need to start it off by saying we are going to cover Game 2 of the NBA Finals. We'll talk about this. Um, but the next thing after that, I want to say for everybody that is going to watch this or rewatch this clip or this episode now, live, or in the future, just remember, I'm warning you. After I talk about the NBA Finals, we're going to be talking about a tough subject after that. And it has to be talked about because a certain person who's been on ESPN and all kinds of shows, sports shows, he's now, like the main go-getter on Outkick. It's kind of like he does online and like YouTube, other like Instagram. He does all kinds of other stuff on online and stuff with like basically podcasts and stuff like that. But he still talks about sports. And in some ways, I do respect him because he is blunt and he does not have a filter. He thinks something's wrong, no matter what, he says something. And I'm gonna have to comment on something that he made because, as weird as it's gonna sound, I've been wondering the same thing. Some of the stuff I've been thinking myself, and I just think he's probably one of the first person to actually blatantly come out and say it and put it out there. And in so many ways, what he said has a fucking bearing. There's going to be no doubt, no way around it. And of course, I'm talking about, Clay Travis's comments about the superstar player of the LA Dodgers, Trevor Bauer, and quarterback Deshaun Watson. And they're both alleged of basically the same heinous acts. Just the actions were two different by two different leagues. But first, let's get on to Game 2 of the NBA Finals before we get into that. Because, like I said, it could cause controversy. I'm not meaning to cause controversy. I think if y'all paid attention and watched, I have like over 70 videos. I think by now you kind of caught a glimpse of basically what my beliefs are and kind of what I believe in and kind of somewhat my thought process on certain things. So if you have an understanding, I don't think that you guys will be offended. But some of you new people, you may be like, what the fuck? But I will explain it as best as I can. I'm also going to be drinking some of my blueberry wine while we do this episode, which fine by me. I couldn't find my wine glass. So I did have to use my wife's here. It says be mine wine with heart on it. But it's cool. It's cool. It's still a wine glass. Now, all right. Gosh, that blueberry Moscato is so good. Or Moscato. Anyways, the Suns win Game 2, just like I figured. Everything so far in this NBA Finals that I've said was going to happen has happened. Every freaking thing I said about this Finals before it started has happened. So like I said, I'm still sticking with it. Suns in 6. I said they'll probably go up 2-0. The only thing that changed is I thought, maybe Giannis, before the final started, I said maybe Giannis can make it back by Game 3. Well, okay, Milwaukee Bucks, he ain't had any excuses. He played since the opening jump ball of Game 1. He's played the entire NBA Finals. So, yeah, there's no asterisk. There's no chance for an asterisk in this series. And honestly, since Game 1, since he got that took the tip off and everything else, he's looked like Giannis. Don't get me wrong. He put up some points yesterday in Game 2. He's Giannis. He's 100%. Don't anybody. There's been some reports out there. Some fans speculate. Okay, fans, you don't think Giannis is 100%? You're fucking retarded. Like I said, they already had an MRI and stuff like that whenever he tweaked his knee. It probably was just a little sore. Honestly, all it was. Just probably a little sore. Just the way that, him and Capella landed there. But nothing got damaged. No ligaments, no bones, nothing. Tendons, anything. So maybe just a little sore. And he had several days rest because the rest of the team, and I'm going to get into this because I also called this out. I didn't know if I'll be right, but this pretty much is confirmed. First two games, I'm pretty much right where I think I am on it, and I'm solidly there. I said Giannis is the best player on the Bucks. Everybody knows this, but do the Bucks as a team play better with Giannis in the postseason? Regular season, we know they do. Postseason and regular season are two different style of play of NBA basketball. Regular season, fucking Giannis is the real deal for the Bucks. The shit. I love him. Postseason, when it becomes way more of a half-court game and all this, and teams are locked the fuck in every series, not so much. Here's why. And the two games that Giannis missed and the two games that they then clinched from the Eastern Conference from the Atlanta Hawks, how did his role players around him that everybody screams for to show up in these finals, how did they play? How did the other All-Stars players, teammates that's been on the All-Star games and stuff like that and has been All-Stars, how did they play? Are you all aware that Drew Holiday and Middleton both basically averaged very high triple doubles for those two games to clinch it while Giannis was out? Go look up Game 5 and 6 from just those two players. Go look up their stats and average them out. Basically 30, 10, and 10. And one of them was two rebounds, not even assists. Drew Holiday had an average 11 assists, had like 26, 27 points averaged for those two games, like 8 rebounds. The other one was like Middleton was, I think he was at like right at 30, 29, 30. And 9 and 8, I want to say, if I remember correctly, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Now I'm going to ask this next question. And this is kind of what I said in other previous videos. Honestly, and I'm being dead serious, people. You can say whatever you want. You can attack me. But look, if you played sports, I've played on sports. I've been on good sports teams. I understand sports. A lot of times in any sport, you can go to football, soccer, baseball, every single kind of sport, tennis, matchups. The big thing is your matchups. Who matches up who with what starting five or what offense or defense in football? What matches up against your opponent the best? And I'm being dead serious. This series, it shouldn't be about Giannis. Because who's going off on the Suns? It's the fucking two guards. Who's one of the best defending guards? Do you really need? Honestly, it would almost be a blessing if Giannis was not there for these first two games. I'm telling you, I guarantee it. This could be a 1-1 series, especially game one. With all the threes that they missed, the Suns in game one. If Giannis was not in game one, I think this would be a 1-1 series. Because you could have put Drew Holiday, hell of a defender. Giannis not on the floor. They could have ran a totally different defense which is what they need against the Suns team. Not a good matchup with Giannis and fucking Lopez on the court. It is not. It is a fucking dreadful defensive nightmare against this Suns team and how they operate offensively. The way that they pass and move the ball, it fucks them on the defense. Fucks them. That's why they're down 2-0. And that's why they're going to lose this in 6. I'm not saying Giannis is not a top 5 player. He is a top 5 player. Do not take it for granted. I'm not saying that. But matchup-wise, it would have probably been better if he wasn't out there. Because matchup-wise, they could have ran a different defense entirely. Would have matched up way better. Way fucking better. And it could have made this a way more competitive. Both of these games. A whole lot closer. And who knows? It could be 2-0 Bucks right now. Now, not taking a damn thing away from CP3 and what Booker and Ayton has done so far. Miles Bridges. Fucking Bridges. Boy showed up too. I mean, there's all these other. The Bucks, you're fucking screwed. Hate to say it. I understand. Like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you know damn well that coach, if he benched Giannis or didn't play Giannis while he's healthy, would be fired after this series if they didn't end up winning. And honestly, still could even if they did win, because they'd be like, "What the fuck? Please explain your method of this madness." But in all truthness, the matchup and how the Suns play, I would trim his minutes down a lot. Because him and Lopez on the court at the same time is the worst thing for the Bucks. The worst thing. Like I said in game 1, I was wondering, what the fuck? On all these picks and screens and these off the pick and roll, why the fuck do you have Lopez on CP3 on the perimeter? What are we doing? You cannot have bigs on him or Booker. It's money all day. Speed-wise, they cannot keep up with them. It's not a good matchup. Not at all. Giannis, you're a great player. You're going to get your ring someday. It just won't be this year. But I will say this. I will say this in all confidence. Matchup-wise, you're fucked with Giannis. Playing as much as he is, and of course being your best player offensively for the Bucks. I would rather have what Middleton and Holiday were doing in 5 and 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals be what I wrote with in the finals. And then let Brook Lopez be down low. Do what he do. We already saw him put up a 30 point. What I'm saying, this team looked better without Giannis. Think back, guys. The last two, just think over the last week. When Giannis was out, how did the fucking Bucks look? Be honest with yourself. They ran better offensively and defensively. They played a hell of a lot better. And I think a lot of these role players and starting players maybe secretly don't want to play with Giannis. They may leave. I don't know. You never know with some players. Some players are just like, I like Russell Westbrook and fucking I think Paul George. They agreed that they didn't mesh, they didn't work well off one another in OKC. So that one left. Boom, this, that, trades. Sometimes great players and with other great players, they just don't work well off one another. It happens. Obviously, with Giannis out there, Drew Holiday's gone. He ain't nowhere to fucking be seen. What I'm saying is, it seems like with Giannis on the court, the Bucks are doing better in the last 2 series, and it would be the case in the finals if that was still the case, but it's not. But I'm telling you, over in 6, I'm still sticking with it. I think the Bucks take Game 3. I think they'll lose one of these at home, so I'm going to say Game 4. Suns didn't go up 3-1. I think the Bucks, take Game 5, and then, like I said, Suns, it's over. It's a wrap. 6. Yeah, awful defensive schemes. Why we're putting big on all these fucking Booker and Chris Paul. Like I said, if you ain't gonna take Giannis off the court, take Brook Lopez off the court. Have just Giannis as the big man. Don't be running fucking both of them. I'm telling you, all these big men fucking trying to guard these guards and run around with them, and y'all are getting cooked. Especially whenever that happens on the offensive end, you are against you all and your defense, and the Suns run that against you offensively. You all get cooked. Doesn't matter. Layup to the basket. A short fucking 2-jumper from Chris Paul. Fucking wide open 3 from Booker or CP3 or another team. They cook you all. Even if it's dishing from it, they created such an opening with how they get you all to move around that you all are fucked on D. Telling you. One of the two, big man, get them the fuck off the court at the same time. Whenever you're going to give Giannis a break, put in fucking Lopez. Shorten Lopez, and trust me, I'm being dead serious. It's as crazy as it sounds. Shorten Giannis's minutes by like 10 minutes. And keep just one big out there. Let Holiday and Middleton do their thing that they did in the Eastern Conference Finals. You'll have a fucking different series completely. I'm telling you. Every game from there on out would be competitive in this NBA Finals. I shit you not. But not even Drew Holiday, I'm telling you, who is an amazing defender, can't even be the style defender he needs to be because how the Suns are running the offense and they're moving all these bigs around. It's fucking him up on defense too. Like he's on the island, which is crazy because Drew Holiday's a good player. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's a good, solid player, especially on defense. And they're fucking screwing the pooch up for him too. So this whole Bucks team is fucking up. This should be a 1-1 series. But it's 2-0 Suns. Kudos for them. Because they executed the way they're supposed to. While the other team and the other coaches and the other coaching staff, players have done no adjustments. And like a lot of people point out, listen to after these wins and how both teams talk after the game. One sounds like they're just happy to be there, the Bucks. The other one's like set in stone, like we still got shit to get done. Two different mindsets also. One's locked in the way it needs to be locked in, the Suns. The other one, I don't know where the fuck they're at. Are they on vacation in Canada? I'm fucking dumbfounded. Oof. I don't know. This keeps up, especially on the defense. And if they keep fucking putting the bigs on these cards of the Suns and putting them in the worst one-on-one matchups for this entire series, because they will lose, after they lose this finals, I would immediately have a conversation with that head coach and that staff. And I would immediately say, I want you all in my office first thing in the morning. Because you all as a unit will explain to me your fucking thought process. And if I don't even see the image that you're trying to get to your players on the court, and if it doesn't make any fucking logical sense to me, you might want to start filling out job applications because you just fucking may have just sabotagely lost us a final. which we have not been to in several decades. I would be pissed. Now, back on to this next subject that I got to get on. And let me pull this up because I got to read some of this stuff. It's going to be a comment. I'm going to read it word for word. Like I said, Clay Travis is what he said. And then I'm going to give my opinion on it. Like I said, bear with me. Don't rush a judgment on this whatsoever, is all I ask. And let me fully explain my opinion on this and see if I agree or disagree. Clay Travis of Outkick, others believes that there is a double standard when it comes to the Houston Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson and Major League Baseball star pitcher Trevor Bauer. If you all do not know and have not heard about the Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer, there is one allegation from a woman of basically inappropriate conduct like Deshaun Watson has against him from 22 women. Not one, 22. Starting out with the facts here. Clay Travis says, Trevor Bauer was immediately suspended by Major League Baseball based on one allegation. To my knowledge, 22 different women have accused Deshaun Watson. Okay, of sexual assault. And the NFL still hasn't done a thing to Deshaun Watson. Now, as if you all have not been following as much, okay, it was seriously like the Trevor Bauer and the Dodgers and the Major League Baseball, the Commissioner, everybody. As soon as the allegation came out, yeah, it's being investigated. They don't know if it's true or not, but he seriously was like immediately suspended. Like immediately. Baseball took zero chance of screwing the pooch on this. None. Like I said, I'm starting off stating facts here. The NFL, in case some people, sports people that watch sports news have been living under a rock, it's been months since the allegations for Deshaun Watson. And get this. The report out, there's several reports out that not even Commissioner Roger Goodell of the NFL has yet to even talk to Deshaun Watson. What the fuck? Okay, so remember years ago with Ray Rice and all the abuse with the women whenever it really changed their entire policy of the NFL. Everybody, do y'all remember Ray Rice? If you don't, it's okay, I'll explain. He was literally caught, hoodwinked, hook, line, sink, on camera, punching and knocking the fuck out of his, I think, girlfriend. I know they got married, I think, after the incident, but I don't know if they were engaged. Either girlfriend or fiance at the time. Knocked her the fuck out. In the elevator. Or get ready to leave or walked in the elevator. Can't remember. It's been years ago. I'm pretty sure it was an elevator. And I mean, he smoked her. For y'all that watches fighting terms, y'all know what I mean by he smoked her. Like he fucking gave her a KO punch. And the NFL changed their policy. That's whenever Roger Goodell and all the teams and the league, the NFL Players Association, they agreed. They created the NFL commissioners list, which, hello, I'm still wondering, why the fuck is he not on it? They created a lot of different shit. And from there on, Ray Rice never really got another shot for anybody because it was also towards the tail end of his career. And also, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it, he also wasn't a quarterback. We all know in certain sports, certain positions, get different treatment. We definitely know in the NFL, fucking quarterbacks get treatment that other players on a team don't get. That's just facts. That's fucking facts. Like I said, that blueberry Moscato is so good. Tastes like fucking juice. It's so good. I just wish I knew where my wine cup was. I have to use my wife's, but nonetheless. I'm going to continue what he said, though. And we're going to get back on this. Like I said, the NFL still hasn't done a thing to Deshaun Watson. How is that Trevor Bauer gets suspended immediately based off one allegation? How can you reconcile the treatment of Trevor Bauer while also recognizing what's going on with Deshaun Watson? We got a serious case of privilege going on with Deshaun Watson. Quarterback privilege, black privilege. Nobody is talking about that. Deshaun Watson might be, who knows, and he's saying like, who knows, because he's not assuming. He doesn't know if he's guilty or not. He said Deshaun Watson might be, who knows, the Jeffrey Epstein or Bill Cosby of the NFL. And I will, before I continue the rest of the comment, I will say, in today's climate, we all understand it doesn't matter what color you are. We all know since COVID, around the time of COVID, Black Lives Matter movement has been going on, and it's been all over. Look, I know a lot, like I said, I know a lot of African-American people even are saying it now. They're getting sick and tired of it because a lot of corporations and a lot of like sports medias like ESPN and FS1 are profiting and using it to make their companies money off of their movement. It's a fact. But also, a lot of people are saying that because this movement is out there and has been out there for basically, 2 years now, going on 2 years, that people are scared if an African American does a crime, especially in sports, to do a damn thing. Now, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say this first and foremost before I continue through his comment. The rest of it. I don't give a fuck what color skin you are. 22 women come against you and you work in my fucking organization, you're immediately getting suspended and I'm investigating what the fuck's going on. I'm not saying you're fired because this could be something going on, but I'm going to look into it. But show ass damn straight, I'm not taking a risk on my $1 billion franchise. Listen, people, $1 billion franchise. Maybe, the Texans had to at least be worth at least $1 billion at this point. Every NFL team, I feel like, at least is worth $1 billion. Or, $700 million. Even if you change ownership, they have to pay more than what the team's worth to be the one to get the final bid. You're paying at least $1 billion if you're trying to buy a team. So let's just say the Texans are worth $1 billion. Do you think I'm seriously going to risk your ass playing football with this allegations and then it coming back, it's fucking true? Do you understand the kind of backlash and what the fuck could happen to that organization and how everybody's going to view everybody in that organization and the entire NFL league as a whole if that occurs? It would be a catastrophe. I could see a boatload of memes now. At least 100. Because you got to understand, that's serious. 22 women is such a serious allegation of sexual misconduct. And so a lot of these supposedly are rape or sexual misconduct. That you're taking a risk of not suspending him and his contract. Go look up this year's amount of possibly paying somebody 30 plus million for the year on top of that. I'm with Clay Travis on the fucking privilege part. And just pure ignorance from the commissioner of the NFL. And pure ignorance from the Houston Texans. Pure ignorance to this point that he's not been on that commissioner's exempt list. Pure ignorance. Because I don't give a fuck what color you are. You think I'm going to risk billions upon billions of my league for one motherfucking player? You out your damn mind. You're out your damn mind. You think I'm going to risk? Because these teams and the yearly rep, they make a boatload of money every year as a league. You are not going to risk my shit dropping dramatically. You ain't messing with my motherfucking money. Basically, in layman's terms. You ain't fucking with my money. But also, it's worse than that. There's so many reports out there that for months this has been out. I want somebody please explain this part to me, though, because this I can't get over my head. I can't get this through my head. How is the commissioner not questioning Deshaun Watson one time? How has he not talked to him yet? What the fuck is going on? What in the fuck are you doing, Roger Goodell? What the fuck? So the Houston Texans, you have every team has like these little videos, these little how do you say it? These rah-rah videos for the team. They took Deshaun Watson off all their videos. So you're going to tell me that at least the Houston Texans have taken Deshaun Watson out of stuff, and you can't even do your job? But the fucking team that's been doing dumb shit the last 2 years, fired their coach, doing stupid trades and everything else, did more than your ass? Knock, knock. Is anybody there? Roger Goodell, hello? Hello? Yo. You fucking dumbass. You gotta be a dumbass. If that's true, Roger Goodell should be fired today, right now. No questions asked. Because for years, since Ray Rice said, you've been saying, we do not at all condone violence on women. But what in the fuck are you doing with Deshaun Watson? And how you've done everything up to this point is a huge what the fuck. While right away, a picture that's not even been, evidence hasn't even been put out really. Hasn't even been known if it's true or false or just straight up some one random chick trying to find her way to make money. In LA, of all things, off somebody famous. No, we're going to take it easy on the guy with 22 cases against him. But immediately suspend the guy with one that we don't know if fucking happened or not. Immediately. I'm wholeheartedly right there with him on that. Now to continue. Now, Trevor Bauer is already suspended and his career with the Dodgers may be over. One allegation, people. Precedent matters. Decide what the policies are and apply them evenly, no matter what the consequences. I agree with that that 2 sentences that he definitely just said there. Precedent does matter. I don't give a fuck if you're Asian. I don't give a fuck if you're Canadian. I don't give a fuck if you're from India. I don't give a fuck if you're African American, white, Jewish, Catholic. I don't give a fuck what you are. Precedent matters. not the color of your skin. And not being scared because we're going through a certain movement. Wrong is wrong no matter in what time, in what era, in what year, what day, what month. I don't give a fuck. There's a lot of things out there, especially crimes against women like sexual assault. You take serious 24/7, 365. I don't give a shit. Now, he also then goes into his relationship with his college coach, uh, Dabo Sweeney, with Clemson. We don't need to get in all that. I don't care about his Clemson days and his head coach from Clemson. I don't care. Talks about his relationship that has nothing to do with his allegations and crimes. My point, back to what Clay said in this, and I'll repeat it again just for y'all to get it. I'm going to read it all at once, just so y'all can get a whole understanding. Trevor Bauer was immediately suspended by Major League Baseball based on one allegation. To my knowledge, 22 different women have accused Deshaun Watson of sexual assault, and the NFL has still done not a thing to Deshaun Watson. How is that Trevor Bauer gets suspended immediately based off one allegation, and nothing has happened to Deshaun Watson based to over 20 allegations? Can you reconcile the treatment of Trevor Bauer while also recognizing what's going on with Deshaun Watson? We got a serious case of privilege going on with Deshaun Watson. Quarterback privilege. Black privilege. Nobody is talking about that. Deshaun Watson might be, who knows, the Jeffrey Epstein or Bill Cosby of the NFL. Trevor Bauer is already suspended and his career with the Dodgers may be over. Precedent matters. Decide what the policies are and apply them evenly no matter what the consequences. I'm going to say as a whole on this and his whole statement there. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And like I said, I have other videos on here on Deshaun Watson. I never said if I believe or not, I wasn't there. But I also have put out, there have been videos where his attorney, Deshaun Watson's own attorney, has said that, admittedly, some of these has happened. So here's the fact of the matter. Due to his own attorney and his own legal team, his own camp has said, if not rape, he's been involved in some very inappropriate shit. Very odd and strange behavior. Very weird shit. Now, who the fuck? It's not even just 22. Listen to this. This motherfucker has over 40 different masseuses. 40 different women masseuses. Who the... Okay. In one city, who the fuck needs over 40? Obviously, you're doing some weird shit. I'm just going to say this. And look, I did a video, I think just yesterday actually, where I said the movement matters, but also just because we're in the Black Lives Matter movement doesn't mean that we're scared to pull the trigger. We can't be scared as a society or organizations, and let alone billion-dollar organizations at that, to be scared to punish somebody by their color. Get the fuck out of here. Just because a movement started doesn't mean you change the way you do shit. I don't give a fuck. You ain't got no excuse for that. There is no fucking excuse for that. You all disagree with this? That's fine. We can talk about it. But I'm just saying, race can't be the defining factor on punishing somebody and protecting your product or not. And then doing it to somebody. Listen, here's the fact. One person has 22 allegations and it's been months with nothing. Not even the commissioner questioning him yet. And yet we have one pitcher, very star pitcher, one of the best, top 4 or 5 in Major League Baseball for years now, Trevor Bauer. Very superstarish, possibly a future Hall of Famer. Immediately, bam, boom. As soon as it came out, you're suspended. You might even be out of the Major League Baseball. We don't know. We're still investigating it, but your ass ain't playing, and you're suspended and everything. You're getting the whole treatment until we find out what's going on. Why the fuck didn't they do that with the guy with 22 allegations? Why? Because he's African American? Because he's a quarterback and not a corner or a safety or a lineman? Let me tell you something. I'm going to look really hard into this camera. Roger Goodell. Crime is a crime. I don't give a fuck if it's an offensive lineman. I don't give a fuck if it's a backup kicker. If a quarterback is in some serious, deep shit, just because either he's a quarterback or the color of their skin, you don't pull the trigger, but you will on anybody else, you deserve, and not, most importantly, not even yet to question him after months of this. You should be immediately fired, buy a fucking passport, and get the fuck out of our country. Because you have to be the dumbest all-time commissioner of all sports I have ever known. And for you to put out many years ago that we have a zero tolerance policy against any crime committed against women, and we take it to the extreme, and we take it deadly seriously. This flat out shows me you flat out fucking ball face lied out your goddamn mouth. Get the fuck out of our country. Leave America. You scared fucking chicken shit. You scared chicken shit. If it was me, until it was resolved and I knew whether they're guilty or not, that's what the commissioner's exempt list is for, you dumb fuck. It's like a suspension that's not a suspension. Okay? It's basically like you're suspended until the investigation is complete. And then the decision comes. That is obviously what the fuck should have happened from the get-go. I would have done that within the first 24 hours. Immediately would have put him on that list as I'm investigating the facts. And I would have made out a statement. We are putting him on here just not as a punishment whatsoever, but to find out the facts first and then go from there. Because when this came out, they were they were months before even thinking about any off-season workouts. It would have been okay to put them on that at that point. They were in their vacation. He would have been like, okay, yeah, you could have put me on that list. I'm on my vacation anyways. But it gives you time to investigate it. Cool by me. This is a joke. The NFL, this could end up being the biggest black eye you ever get. And it's your own undoing. And I'm going to say this, and hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. You can't have one movement, a Black Lives Matter movement, against racism, against African Americans, and then let's turn this country around to begin to everybody can be racist against whites and other colors, people of color. Because then the whole movement becomes the biggest hypocritical case of all time over our country as a whole. Can't do it. That's why whenever this first started, I said, no, it should be all lives matter movement. All lives. All colors. Deshaun Watson. What Clay Travis had to say, whether you're guilty or not, compared to Trevor Bauer, who's yet to even know if he's guilty or not by one woman, and you have a 22 against you. If somebody calls, oh, that's a racist comment. No. He has a 1,000,000% valid point in what he just said. You can't do it to one person and not the next just by color or because you're scared to look bad during a movement. I'm fucking sick and tired of it. Fucking sick and tired of it. And also, we can't have people out there that if they do, just because it's a movement, you can't just go, oh, I did something wrong, but this is racism. Fuck that. Own up. Own up. If you do something bad, take your punishment, man. Plain and simple. Just take your punishment. And you know, Clay, I give you credit because I'm not gonna lie. A lot of that I have been thinking myself, and a lot of it even had to do with, are they seriously not doing nothing? A, because he's a quarterback, and because he's an African American quarterback during a Black Lives Matter movement at full force. And do you know why I truly, really believe that's the case? Follow me on this. And I think after I say this, it's going to make 1,000,000%. Who just got done years ago suing the league and didn't have to play another game? Hasn't since? Before this movement started years ago? Now, they have it secret between the NFL and a certain person that we'll never know what the amount was, but I guarantee it was a pretty damn good amount. But he got compensated. NFL came. They knew that they had to. And they paid him out. And it's ironic because what was it about? I'm, of course, talking about Colin Kaepernick. Police brutality. Which then, here within the last 2 years or less, the Black Lives Matter movement came in full swing over what? Police brutality. And sure, the police officers that did some of these heinous acts the last 2 years deserve the death penalty, in my opinion. I'm an ex-Marine. I was in the military. And none of the tactics, especially the one on the throat, that was not at all a tactic that you use for even a takedown or to subdue somebody at all. I know because we also trained police departments. And I also did. We did martial arts and takedown techniques starting at fucking boot camp in the military. We started it right away. To be honest, yes. Could he have had his face down on the ground? Yes, he could have. Did he need 4, 5, 6 fucking police officers there to assist or help hold him down? No, he didn't. He just needed himself. You know what he easily could have done? Take him down, put his fucking knee in the middle of his shoulder blades in the back, and from there on, he ain't going nowhere. He's isolated. You're not going nowhere, even not in handcuffs. You do it right, you can lock them in place, and you have full control of them. Yeah, you can grab one of their arms and or whatever, or not even grab their arm, but you can make it better where they definitely can't move. But in no way be on their neck, throat, nothing to smother them or take none of their breath away. That cop he deserves the death penalty. He definitely should have known better. But what I really think, why Roger Goodell has yet to talk to him, because he doesn't care to. He's hoping. This is my theory. Okay, I'm not saying this is fact, guys. Y'all are welcome to chat because I know the story I'm on right now. Some people have their own opinion, but I don't think he wants to question him and find out. He doesn't. Of course, he doesn't want him to have done this. But even if he did, he just wants Deshaun Watson and his legal team and these women to fucking settle. Because then he can just, without any further ado, without being labeled anything, without giving the NFL a huge black eye or anything, looking this way, looking that way, he could have such a different press conference set up for whatever he decides after that point, with punishment or whatever or suspension. Till then, Roger Goodell in his eyes is like, I'm gonna sit on this as long as I fucking can because I don't want to take a chance during the Black Lives Matter movement, especially, and he'll be an African American quarterback and the face of a franchise in my league. Then turning around and this maybe he being innocent and suing the fuck out of us way much more than Colin Kaepernick did, and us losing way much money. I believe this is about a possible future lawsuit and them trying to protect themselves that way instead of their fucking image. That's my opinion. That's what I truly think has been going on this whole time. Roger Goodell's scared because he was there and was there the whole time, the whole ride. He was there for the whole ride for Colin Kaepernick's situation. And he is just trying to buy as much time as possible to make sure that he ain't in the second one. Wholeheartedly my opinion. Let me know if y'all agree. You can disagree. It's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. But what I truly believe everybody should be in agreement on, color of somebody's skin should not matter whenever you suspend or fire somebody or you do what you have to do to properly investigate and put them on the sideline until you find out what happened or didn't happen. Color of somebody's skin should never have anything to do with that. Not 1%. And you know what? Trevor Bauer, in so many ways, I don't know if he did it or not. I'm not going to assume because it's very beginning stages. Very beginning. Like, honestly, this is just one person that seriously could just be trying to make it rich. Hello, I didn't believe the whole fucking Kobe bullshit. Somebody trying to get rich. It could be the same thing happening to him with this one person. But honestly, I feel bad for him because here he is. His career could be over, and he's an all-star, could be a future Hall of Famer. And everybody knows in Major League Baseball, especially pitchers and the top 1% of players make buku amounts of contracts. We're talking over $200+ million contracts. You're potentially ruining this fucking guy's life. And they, right off the bat, suspended. While Deshaun Watson is out there getting paychecks, walking free, doing whatever the fuck he wants, even working out, preparing, thinking he could have a chance to play this year. Somebody in their right mind think logically about everything that we just talked about and said. And tell me how the fuck that's fair. And I'm going to say, I don't think there's one way you can say it's fair. I just don't see any way around it to even make it sound right for it to be fair. It's like he said, and it's kind of weird because in one of it, I really did think it came to my mind whenever the numbers just went up and went up months ago. Once it hit over 20, I was like, I even thought the same thing. It's weird that he said it because I was like, is this motherfucker Jeffrey Epstein in the NFL? It actually can't cross my own mind. I was like, this motherfucker could be a serial, you know what, in the face of a fucking NFL franchise, $1 billion corporation, just like Epstein was a billionaire. Like, what the fuck? Look how long that guy got away with it. And yet, we didn't learn our lesson as a society? Really? Really? I guess we really don't feel at all towards potential victims of crimes like this from rich people or any people. And that's what's the true crime of this whole story is. Now, the Dodgers, in a way, they took it serious. They're taking, obviously, the Major League Baseball is taking it serious with Bauer. But here, the NFL, whatever. That's how it's coming across to me. Whatever. Just like Epstein, all them years from whenever it first came out against him. He was out for years a free man, doing whatever he wanted, and continued doing the shit. How, as a society, we sit here and the NFL, how can you sit up here and explain yourself that you're taking this seriously with crime on women when obviously you're doing the complete opposite. Complete opposite. And that's the true crime. Like, seriously, that's true crime of this. Because if this did happen, that's fucking sad. That's flat out fucking sad. A, because, hello, Deshaun Watson, you got plenty of money to fucking go get you some, you know what. You ain't got to do that kind of shit. Fuck. And two, it's just fucking wrong. Because then, what the fuck does that ruins each of those individual women for the rest of their fucking life. And how is that by any means fair to them? Each one of them. How is that fair? But then to also be walking out there doing whatever the fuck you want, going on big ass vacations all around the world, living a millionaire's lifestyle while they go to counseling and all this other shit. Because a lot of they already been put out there. Majority of them have been in counseling since. It's not right. NFL, Roger Goodell, you deserve one of these, buddy. You deserve one of those. Major League Baseball, I guess you were ahead of the curve. Now, like I said, Bauer, if this comes out false, I'm sorry to hear about it. But at the same time, from the Major League Baseball's point of view, they want to do the right thing by just putting you on the sideline until they figure out what happened. And then go from there, which is the right thing to do. It truly is. Now, what I would do also is while you're on the sideline and you ain't playing, if it does end up coming out, it's completely false. And it's proven it's completely false. Even though you didn't play, your contract, you get the full amount. You get what you owe. But if it's true, that shit's fucking void. And you're probably going to a courtroom to face further charges and possibly some prison or jail time. But with the NFL, they're like, it's okay. You can turn out to be the Bill Cosby or fucking Jeffrey Epstein, and sorry, we won't even question the fuck. What the fuck? Roger Goodell. I hope I'm not famous yet on YouTube. I'm just a beginner. 2 months in, 3 months in. Within my first 3 months or less, I hope at some point you see this video. I really truly hope so, because you're an embarrassment of an American for not even questioning your own player of your own league yet. After months. And I'm not talking 1. I'm not talking 2 months. I'm talking over 2 months. And 22 women accused. If the reports, the several reports that are out on that, if that is true, get the fuck out of America. Resign as commissioner and go live a sad and pathetic life that you deserve. Because that's just awful. Awful judgment, awful leadership, and just awful human instincts. Cared everything you could think of. Because obviously then you don't have any of it. Gutless. Hypocritical. And also go and apologize to Ray Rice, because obviously 1, 22, more you get, the better treatment I'll give you. Yeah, that makes fucking sense, Roger Goodell. And the weirdest, and also another weird thing about this, it's still eerily quiet. Has been for a while now, which usually happens whenever there's a big settlement coming. Which, like I said, Deshaun Watson, whenever he first actually made any kind of statement, he said that he is wholeheartedly innocent and he will fight this basically to the end of time to prove he's innocent and to prove that none of this happened. And at the end of the day, after you make comments like that, if you cave and you pay these women off, I'm sorry, in my opinion, the moment you do that, if you do it, you're fucking guilty. You just said you're guilty without getting any prison and jail time. That's all it is. You're fucking guilty. Especially with how you said you would fight it. Especially that. Now, that is all for today's episode. We're going to watch Game 3. Like I said, I think the Bucks will win their first game at home in Game 3. I'm just going to predict that. But the real game that I think really just tilts this, kind of ends the series, is I think they'll lose Game 4, though. I think they're going to lose one of the two at home. And at that point, the Suns are up 3-1. I just think it's over. This ain't Cleveland and Golden State. It doesn't feel even remotely like that at all. Not even a chance. Especially even 3-1 or especially 3-0. But even 3-1, no fucking chance in hell they'll come back and win 3 straight on the Suns. Just no fucking chance. I don't see it. So like I said, Bucks, you're done. Then this offseason, I think you really need to figure out what the fuck are we doing. You got to start playing with Giannis. You got to build around him the right way that postseason time comes. Offensively and defensively, it's a perfect fit. for the game style of playoff basketball. Because this team is not built for it. Y'all lucked your way through to the Nets' injuries, honestly. Honestly. I don't even think you would have made it past the Nets, a healthy Nets team. No fucking way whatsoever. Would have been over in 6, in my opinion. All 3 of them healthy and on the court, it would have been over in 6. And Atlanta Hawks, god damn, I think that would have been a sweep, maybe 5. This should be, honestly, it's kind of crazy because this should be a Nets-Suns series. And I think we all know that if the Nets were healthy, fucking no way. But that's where I stand on that stuff. I explain Travis's comments about Trevor Bauer and Deshaun Watson and benefiting from the privileges. And I really think that was eye-opening. Honestly, I appreciate that he had the guts to say what he said. I think that should be definitely condoned. He actually had the guts to say that. I've been scared to even say it. Because I don't want people to come out, oh, you're just saying that because you're racist or this or that. I'm not even racist, man. But people could attack you for that. But if you actually think about the full comment, think like a logical, a real true, logically smart individual, you would have been like, yeah, wholeheartedly, I completely understand that statement. Wholeheartedly. Without any prejudice. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to get to what the fuck he was saying. And for what he said to completely make sense, because it did. And honestly, what I just think that I just said, in my opinion, I believe what I just said wholeheartedly, 1,000,000% makes sense. But hopefully y'all enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, I knew that second topic would be tough to talk about and get on, but it still had to be. It had to be talked about. It is big news today. Also, want to say thanks everybody that, especially some of you people have actually from my Twitch channel has been coming to check out my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you in today's video for that. I've had some of my Twitch streamers coming over and checking out some of my videos, so really just thank you on that. Also, my regulars and the people that new people that tune into my videos, my live streams, or my videos that I recorded and put on, and all that stuff, and support the channel. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, like 3 months in, maybe a little less. Really appreciate it. Continue. Let's help make this grow. Like I said, this is going to be a sports show that is blunt. We don't hide. We don't cower. We speak what's on our mind. We say what we mean. We mean what we say. And we ain't like ESPN and FS1 and all the bullshit they talk about on a lot of times on a daily basis. So I just hope y'all enjoyed. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you like it. Please, bring people to the channel if they want, better sports news, sports content. But yeah, here's if you do game, you are welcome to go check out my live stream and watch the game and stuff like that, and also talk in the chat as well in there. And that's on Twitch. You can look me up. It's the name of this channel, Rocky Sports Talk Sheet, all one word, because that's exactly what all could fit. I couldn't put a single space in it. So it's Rocky Sports Talk Sheet, all lowercase, one word. That's my Twitch channel. Also, you can check me out on Twitter. Basically, I just kind of upload when I'm doing my videos. I'm not really on Twitter, but you can still message me on Twitter at Rocky Sports, ROCKEY Sports. 2 words, by the way. Some people put 1, it's 2 words. And yeah, my channel here. So thank you all. Hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. And until next time, everybody, peace out, everybody.